Negotiations between Tony Bloom and Hearts look like they're close to a conclusion, and could we already see this partnership kickstart Hearts' season by appointing their brand new manager? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and it looks like the Tony Bloom Hearts deal is close to happening. Both parties have been communicating, both parties have been in contact, both parties have been negotiating, and now it's apparently close to a deal, according to Hearts Chief Executive Andrew McKinley. Now, he has explained the long-term plan regarding Bloom's proposal, but as things stand right now, Hearts have been using Bloom's Star Lizard gambling company and using their Jamestown analytics and technology and algorithms in order to identify a new manager after sacking Stephen Naismith last month. Now, at the moment, they're just in talks. Hearts are currently using this, but the £10 million investment hasn't happened yet. But that would likely lead to Bloom obtaining a minority shareholder in the club. So now, at the moment, Hearts' focus is on just simply using the analytics to get a new manager in and try and get heading in the right direction. Because as we know, it's not been good for Hearts. Obviously, right now, they are bottom of the Premiership table. After 8 matches, they have 2 points. Really embarrassing. 2 draws, 6 defeats. That is shameful. A season where Hearts were looking to build on what they did last year, finish third again. Some people were even, you and Cameron, were saying Hearts would finish second. Hearts would split the old firm. But at the moment, it looks like Hearts would be lucky to split 12th and 10th, because at the moment, they can't get into 11th. They can't get a win. They're the only team without a win this season. So, you know, that is not good. But what is good is that the deal with them and Tony Bloom looks like it's close to happening. Andrew McKinley has explained it all. He's explained it in detail, what will happen, and the process that they are looking to go through. So this is what Andrew McKinley had to say. He said, quote, "We are allowed to use analytics. We are hoping to do something that can help us with the analytics from the first instance. There is chat about investment, and that is more around Foundation of Hearts and others who hold shares. It's exciting. It should be exciting, and looking forward to having a bit more to say on it. The investment would be nice. I know there are numbers being talked about, but those numbers might be a bit wide of the mark. It might sound silly. The investment to me is going to be great. It's going to help, but it's not the exciting bit of this. The exciting bit of this for me is access to the analytics. If you look at how analytics has been used at other clubs and how successful it's been at other clubs, you can't help but be excited. From my perspective, when I first came into the club, we'd just been demoted. I remember saying I wanted to get us back to being the third force in Scotland. Even that, I got abused because I wasn't showing enough aspiration. I learned quickly. I've never said in an interview that we shouldn't be first or second. That's always been on my mind. I've always struggled to think, how do you do that from a financial perspective? Unless something goes wrong with one of the other two, that's a different thing. You're constantly looking for something else that can allow you to close that gap because their finances are miles ahead. When analytics come along as an opportunity, I genuinely see it as a chance to use it properly. We should get a standard of player that allows us to close the gap. Genuinely, hopefully at some point we challenge, whether it's them in second place or they maybe in time. It would be lovely to be right up there at the top. It would be brilliant for Scottish football, whether it's Hearts or someone else. We're all dying to have more than 2 teams every year who can win the league. I see this as a genuine opportunity to do that. Any cash injection would not necessarily be passed on for spending on first team players. Other areas of the club would likely benefit from it. With a new training ground, one of the projects Hearts have discussed. I guess it could help with that. I don't see the investment bit as the big bit. The analytics doesn't just do the recruitment, it can be very helpful with opposition analysts. We do a lot of that ourselves already. This adds another layer to those sort of things. We're always looking at that investment piece ahead as to what it looks like." End of quote. So Andrew McKinley seems more interested in the analytics side rather than the £10 million cash injection that probably comes along with this deal. But rightfully so, because £10 million, it's a lot of money for a club like Hearts. But, you know, once you spend that, that's not going to close the gap. You spend £10 million, then it's gone, and then you're done, and yeah, that's not going to do anything. But the £10 million investment, the analytics combined, use the 10 million to maybe improve the club rather than just bring in players. I think that's what we should be doing, and Andrew McKinley, in my opinion, is correct there. Then he went on to talk about the foundation permission, and he said, quote, one of the crucial things there is the foundation, and the foundation sits on that. They've been quite clear about their red lines for things that they wouldn't want. What we won't do is enter into anything which is a link up with another club or akin to a feeder. Which is why when individuals are talked about, it's not helpful, because people then naturally think if an individual were linked to other clubs. The one thing I can say categorically is there are no links here to any other football club. It will bring things, but we do need to look at investment for things like the training ground. Having said that, we've actually invested quite heavily in the background at Riccarton over the last year or so. We've got a bistro up there, with a pitch, a semi-hybrid pitch up there. That will be exclusively our pitch. We are getting better with what we get from facilities up there as they currently stand. We've got it in quite a good place. Stephen was very demanding on that side of things, which is great given his background and where he's been. He felt we've got it to about as good as we can get it in the current setup. End of quote. So Andrew McKinley there, giving his thoughts on the investment, giving his thoughts on the analytics, the money, and then pretty much saying that, look, right now, in terms of Bloom coming in, linking up with other clubs, linking up with feeders and stuff like that, that the foundation of Hearts don't want that, and that it ultimately is their decision. So I am excited about this, and I mean, according to Andrew McKinley, it looks like it's going to happen. I mean, when it originally was announced, I think people thought it was, just a little bit of news. It wasn't going to lead to anything. But according to Andrew McKinley, they're already using the analytics. So the deal is almost in place. Hearts are using the analytics right now to appoint a new manager. And therefore, I think it's going to be very interesting to see who that new manager is. That means we're not going to get a Scottish manager. He did come out and say this a few days ago, that the next manager of Hearts would not be Scottish, and that must be partly down to the analytics that they're using in order to try and find the best manager possible to recruit and to replace Stephen Naismith. So for me, I think this is exciting times at Hearts, and yeah, really looking forward to Tony Bloom coming in, looking forward to the new manager being announced, and looking forward to just finally kick-starting this season and moving up the table and seeing how far Hearts can go. But anyway, guys, that's it. Tony Bloom, what a guy. Wish he would have come in sooner, but it is what it is. Just hopefully this gets confirmed. But yeah, it looks like it's only a matter of time before the deal is made and the investment is made. And excited to see how Hearts go on with this new setup and this new partnership. Anyway, guys, that's it. Leave a like, leave a comment. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.